Hello everybody, I'm Brendan Crowley, President of County Wexford Chamber.
And I'm Emma Dunphy, CEO of County Wexford Chamber. You're now listening to our Chamber Business Podcast.
Today we're going to be talking to Shane Dunphy from Sensible Safety. Shane's business recently won the Training Provider of the Year award.
Great, so welcome Shane.
Thanks lads, great to be here.
So Shane, you might just tell us a little bit about Sensible Safety and the services that you provide.
Yeah, Sensible Safety, we're based in Enniscorthy, serving the whole country. We do health and safety training, consultancy. We specialise in behavioural based safety training. That would be the main bit. And we do a lot of consultancy then from all different industries, from childcares to hotels to all the way to construction, and in the offices and all that kind of stuff as well too.
Yeah, great. And I suppose the create, develop, protect seems to be...
So that's the big selling point for what we do. So like we're listening to Rob, a tagline from a county chamber business or business meeting with Billy Welsh. So he was talking about having a clarity of purpose, and I was sitting there listening to him, and I was sitting beside Niall Rec actually, and I scribbled down the 3 words to Niall and said I was listening to Billy and come up with the idea. So like the clarity of purpose for us is that we've got to get people home every day, and how do we do that? It's the starting point is to create behaviours that last a lifetime, which then in turn develops your culture, and the ultimate aim is to make sure everyone gets home, so we protect every person we work with. So that's where the tagline comes from. So we'll thank Billy for that one.
Be delighted to hear that, no doubt.
Sure, he'd accept copyright.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So look, it's the same. Like that meeting was at the very start of when we were getting going, and we were starting to market the business a little bit more. Obviously, we're only 14 months in business now, so doing that and listening to Billy talk about high performance and look, what isn't high performance when you come to trying to get home every day and to value your life. So that's the message we give. Yes, there's a hell of a lot of legislation for what we do. We try and steer away from that, because if you aim just to meet the law with human performance, we won't stay at that level all the time, so we have to aim a little higher. So it's for us, it's about the human being. It's about making sure we connect with that person, and every single person in every single business, to make sure that they understand that there is to get home to their son, their daughter, their wife, their husband. That's the aim, to make sure that happens. Right? So that's the way we approach our business. Safety, unfortunately, is not as easy as booking a flight. Compliance is not as easy as doing ticking a box. So it's about getting people to create behaviours over a lifetime, so that they pass it on to the next person. And look, the ultimate aim is that we have more and more people working and more people safe, and we don't have bad backs, we don't have bad knees or hips, or we don't have anyone with missing fingers or missing sight, and obviously the ultimate cost is to make sure they don't lose their life when they're there. And unfortunately, look, a lot of the work we do is in the construction industry.
Yes.
And fatalities in Wexford over the last 4 or 5 years have been very, very high. So look, that's the root cause of where we came up with the idea of to create, develop, protect. Like, 'cause there's enough law to make sure people don't work or don't get hurt, but we have to try and create the behaviours to make sure that doesn't happen. That's at the core of what we do, right? So and it's been really, 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 really beneficial, because we're not just working with the small companies now. We're all the way up to our big multinationals want to work with, which we would consider ourselves a very small family-run business. So yeah, it's been a great 14 months, to be honest.
Okay, I suppose we all agree that health and safety is not negotiable, really, and it's about, I think the approach you're taking, Shane, by listening to you and from dealing with you in the past, is helping to develop a culture of safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
That organisations work that way. And in fairness, look, you mentioned that you're working for some big brand names now. In fairness, and I wouldn't be afraid to call them out. It's great for a small new business. Like, for big brand companies, I know you do a bit of work with Diageo at the moment, and those companies don't choose lightly who they work with.
No, absolutely not.
Like, they partner with businesses. They don't just come out and that's good. So obviously you're doing something that impresses them.
Yeah.
But can I ask you, would you find that a lot of your clients, because your business is growing very quickly, which is brilliant, are a lot of your clients new to health and safety? Is it are they really starting to realise, or are the people who have been?
It's a mixture. It's a mixture. Look, I'm going to site in a few minutes here in Wexford, where they've got an inspection from the HSA, and they haven't really been up to spec over the last number of years, and they just need a little shove, and they realise the importance when you sit down and talk to them and have the conversation. Then there's the others, the likes of companies like Diageo and other companies not even as big as that, who just really want to get to the next level and see the value in it. So yeah, it is a mixture. And then look, you, as always, like you'll have the person who sees health and safety as a cost, as an annoyance, as another bit of red tape. You have the likes of leaders like Boris Johnson doing that and coming out and making those statements that also drives that type of stuff too. So yeah, look, you have a hell of a lot of mixture. So it's a challenge to be able to deal with every single person that you're dealing with on that. Yeah, but you got to get across to them that it's not a cost. It's a value to their business. It's it's not what safety costs you; it's what it saves you in the long run. And that's the kind of mantra you're trying to get them to understand and believe in.
But you're not just offering health and safety advice or audits or risk assessments. You're actually offering first aid training, all kinds of.
So we do the whole package. We have. A sister company, we do AEDs, first aid kits. We do everything in relation to that. So yeah, the training would be a huge part. Yeah, so we do the emergency training stuff in relation to fire, in relation to the manual handling would be another part. But we do a lot of first aid. First aid would be a huge part of the business. It's something that both of us enjoy. But me and Nikki have come from a sporting background, a sporting course in college. So that's where we started doing it. And it was just a natural progression when we came into this business to get into that, because we use it a lot more on the side of a pitch, unfortunately.
I think it, Nikki being your partner in business
and in life.
Yeah, and it's great, just listening to all the different contracts that you've won. It's such a, relatively new business. But how do you measure your own level of quality and that high standard of delivery day in, day out?
Look, it's very difficult to keep the standard up all the time. So look, it's about making sure that you're consistently retraining. Like yesterday morning, we were on a conference, and listening to people, listen to people outside the industry as well, and the likes of the conferences like Billy and doing that kind of stuff. Listen to podcasts. I love the high performance podcast from Jake Humphreys, and you get people, loads of ideas from that. Look, and then you set your standards in relation to the training. We've got QQI, you would work with IOSH, obviously you're working through bodies like Solace, the ETB, so we don't just match their standards, we go a little bit beyond that. So in relation to training type of things, what we would do is we would bring in our clients beforehand, trying to find out their training needs, continuously talking through that, and then after the training course, and not just the evaluation from the people in the course, we ring up afterwards and we see how do we need to develop it, how do we need to change it to suit their needs. Because look, a lot of safety is prescription, but it has to suit the business as well, and then how we deliver it, how does it work in relation to their working time. So just after being at the Business Awards, we're recently after working with number 58 to close. So like we went in and we're sitting down and having a chat, and so look, trying to make sure that it doesn't affect the run of the business. So we train with them, and we've had it. We're with them again next week. So the feedback was that they really liked it because they were able to do their work, but we give them the training specific to what they're doing. So we just match. We just basically go around and watch what to do for an hour or two, and then we train them as we need to. So look, it's not, we don't do your quick fix type of training. That's why we keep the standard the way it is. And look, and after that, then you've got to have your normal audits from QQI and IOSH and Solace. And that keeps you on your toes as well. But look, we don't just do it for that. Like, we value what we teach, so we do live it. Like, and we live it, and that reinforces what we do all the time. It's just constantly trying to develop and change it and to make it slightly better.
And sorry, Brendan, I need to ask, what did it mean to you and Nikki to win the award this year?
It was huge. It's a little bit of validation to what we do, because you do get resistance. We're very unique in relation to safety, in relation to what we're trying to achieve. Most people in our business come into the business to make sure people are compliant and tick the box. That's not what we're here for. Like, I'm lucky enough to have obviously been a first aid instructor, to be able to save my own son's life a couple of years ago. So that's the whole point. Like, it's that's what we're interested in, is making that difference. And again, to Rob, another saying from that podcast, cultural architects. So we want to be cultural architects. What do we mean by that? we want people just to follow us, not because they have to, but because they want to, and they see the value. Like what we see, like what we've done with the county chamber staff and asking you to reverse in and all that kind of stuff and drive out your car parks, and we don't want, as you've known, I rang all your staff when we don't see it being done. So that's, we're just to remind everyone what the point is and why we should do it. So look, it's all those things. So like that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be cultural architects in the industry, and if we can make an impact and reduce the amount of fatalities in the workplace and injuries. Okay, obviously we keep talking about fatalities because they're the ones that get people's attention, but just a simple slip, trip, falls, if we can stop those and stop people being out of work, which means that every business that's working, not just with the county chamber, but everyone that's working with us, that we've got more productivity. And at the end of the day, I'm sure the more time we spend in work, the more value we can make, and obviously then the more time we can take off.
That's it.
Which is important.
In fairness, the fact that you're working across a wide range, and I like the fact that what you say, you're not just there for compliance. It's about learning, it's about culture, it's about, and as you said a minute ago, there are things that you take out into your personal life as well. Yeah. But I suppose is working with so many different types of industries, do you find that you pick up on things that are useful in one industry, and something that happens in one industry, then you realise you can adapt that for the next?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, look. So recently we've been working with Adman Steel in Ballyconnew, and like Paul's a fantastic businessman, and I've taken so much from him from my own business as well too. Like, so he introduced the lean program, and like how that lean program worked in relation to trying to improve safety as well, and how we interacted all that together. It's fantastic, the likes of the other companies. Then it was in Sulphur Pumps, which and you're there listening and watching how they do things and learning. Because we are a small business, and you can learn stuff from your bigger businesses as well too, and also then too, like you've IT companies. There's a different personality trait that goes with all these industries, and learning how to deal with all that is important, because again, safety is about humans. So if we can't deal with your IT person to your construction worker who have a hell of a different personality.
Yeah. I suppose there are certain industries where people are more aware of the risks.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so like someone who's sitting at a computer all day doesn't really perceive it as a major risk to maybe hurting their back or to their neck, shoulders, or even on the phone all day and tilting off. So little things like that, and they come back in a year or two's time, they go, geez, that made some difference. You know what I mean? But they don't see it because they're so used to doing it. Yeah, so you get loads of skills from different industries that are really transferable. And it's that's the other thing that makes it interesting. You're not dealing with I'm going to construction site this afternoon, and then I'm going to a physio's. So
so it's great.
So you're never bored, but that's the other thing too, keeping the standards up, because you can't be an expert in everything, so you have to listen and engage, and that's I was saying to Emma before we started talking, it's training for staff is so important, but there's so much training for us to do to keep on top of things and to be consistent. And even working with Wexford Bus, Brendan, with yourselves, I've worked with lots of transport companies and Baku and all these people and all transport. Going into a bus company it's so different. And it was like being in college the very first day and sitting down listening to yourself, Lorraine and Claire, and starting all over again.
We all educate each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's it. We all learn from each other.
Absolutely. That's what makes it really interesting. So there's loads of people always say to me, "How do you do safety? It's so boring." And I said, if you spent a week in our shoes and realised how different it is every day of the week, that's what makes it so enjoyable.
How many people are in your team now?
Started off with 3 last June, and we're now at 8. Right? And growing. Yeah. So I had just before I came in here, I had a phone conversation with another first aid instructor to see what so she was been working on her own for a number of years, and hear how well we're doing, and she's looking to get involved. So look, it's very, very busy. So like everything at the moment, I think. Particularly with lots of the industries and a lot of the smaller guys we're working with, we're all a little bit worried about the cost of diesel, the cost of electricity, and everyone's going, how long will it last? Everyone's really busy, so we'll continue to grow, but at a steady rate. Right?
But in fairness, you spoke about Adman Steel and lean processes and everything like that, and you know, every business, your core function is to provide health and safety training, but you all, you know, in fairness, you're learning as you go, Shane. And
absolutely.
Has there been lots of help for you out there in terms of business administration and that
absolutely. And the Leo, even the guys here in the chamber, you know, very, very helpful to try and get things over the line. So yeah, like I'm talking about making us a little bit more lean and taking a little bit from Paul. We're in the process of developing an app now to make it easy for everyone to do their own safety in relation to bespoke inspections, but also for me, so that I get rid of the paper. Yeah. So Leo and the lads up there in the county hall, really, really helpful. Like, you know, fantastically helpful. Wexford Local Development, you know, all these agencies really, really helpful for anyone who's starting off. You know, I couldn't speak any highly of them. You know, so, and also they work a lot with us too, so it's great. And so we've struck up a relationship with them. So everyone that starts with them, they send it to us as well. So
it's really important. Yeah. The networks are important.
That's the bit we missed over COVID. In fairness, like with you know, the chamber meetings in here, you'd miss all that. Like, you know what I mean. I'm very disappointed I'm missing the golf on tomorrow.
Very competitive.
Yeah.
You'll have our one in September though.
Yeah, we'll be there for that. Definitely.
We're winners last year. Yeah. But the future is certainly bright for sensible safety, Shane. And do you have any visions that you'd like to share with us even for the future?
Look. The ultimate aim is that we have our own premises somewhere within the county, and we have so we will be able to expand not just on the. We do very much personal training, so it's not involved in machinery and stuff. So that's the aim and to try and get that and to provide a centre of excellence like for what we do, and so hopefully that'll be the case, and you know, just affect people really. That's it. There isn't anything else more than that. There isn't like to get people home every single day. There's nothing more rewarding than that. So, and we're happy if we can do that and affect that.
Of course.
That's it.
And what is great about business in Wexford?
Dealing with the people, right? So we do a lot of business in Wexford, a hell of a lot of business around the country, but there's nothing better than coming back home to town and dealing with people and seeing really, really good businesses expand. Like, so we had guys from Kent yesterday and we were on the Safe Pass course with us and going to 200 people that are telling us working out there, like, fantastic to see it, and to be part of it in some way, to help people to do that. It's great, because we are, at the end of the day, the majority of our business is training, but we do a lot of consultancy to help people, and if they're expanding, they have to look after that side, and also look to help people to in the industry. So there was a person yesterday who was doing training with us, and who was inspired by listening to me or Nikki, I think it was, on one of the courses, and now was decided to be a safety advisor. So she's starting a business in with a company at the moment. So look, that's what we love doing, and that's the best thing about having more and more people employed in Wexford. And look, I'm doing business in Wexford. I'm really looking forward to look out at the sun at getting started on the retractable roof on Monk Street. So I forgot to mention that we won the contract to be the supervisors for the design stage and the construction stage, both for that and the Crescent Pavilion, so the outdoor stage. So like Monk Street and all that, it's going to be an amazing, by the end of the summer, it's going to be an amazing place to be and have an amazing asset to the county. So look, being involved in those things, that's what's great about doing business, because you can walk around and you can go, you say to your son and daughters, like, Daddy was involved in that. I'm not good with my hands, so at least I can talk about it. Well,
in fairness, you mentioned Kent's Stainless there a few minutes ago as well, and Kent's manage projects all around the world. So by virtue of the fact they do that, your little bit of training is hitting out into many other parts of the world.
Like, obviously, look, we have a little bit of an affinity. My older brother used to run solids for Pat, so so we always like going out there, and that's the other thing, is just getting to know people and getting to know everyone around and having an impact, and meeting people in the street and going, geez, we enjoyed your course, like, so that's not often said about safety.
No,
that's important for us as well too, like, you know.
I can say it here, like, you nearly dread sitting down, having to spend the time to go through it, but you certainly had people engage and actually make it very enjoyable, Shane. So look, thanks for coming in and sitting down with us this morning, and we wish you every success for the future, and congratulations again on your award this year.
William. Appreciate that.
Thank you. And
thanks to everyone for listening to our County Wexford Chamber Business Podcast with your host Brendan Crowley and Emma Dunphy.